didn't I call it? I definitely called it. I said, this man is either light skinned or he's white. I knew he was white. I fucking knew he was white. I could just hear it. So, welcome to my review / recap of Love / Life After Lockup, season 4, episode 18. Just a Snitch. That's the title of the episode. We're gonna start with Chazz and Branwyn, okay? So, Chazz extended his stay, as we know from last episode. He's staying a little longer because he wants to spend some time with his wife. But she's being distant, and she doesn't even text him. I'm wondering how many days it's been, and if he's over exaggerating because it's only been a day. But if it's been a few days and she doesn't even text him, I mean, she did say she was going to be busy. She told him that. She warned him. But we do find out that Branwyn is on some shady stuff. So as he's in his room, Chazz, he's in his hotel room. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's just chilling, I guess. He gets a text from somebody who knows Branwyn, somebody who used to run in the same circle, or supposedly. And this person just says you should check out Branwyn's latest activity online because she's back to her old ways. And so he asks, well, who is this? And all he asks is, who is this? We'll just keep that in mind for later. All he asks is, who is this? And so the person says, well, I'm an old friend or something. And she says her name is Tawny. Okay. So then he starts to question, and he's wondering if someone's trying to mess with them or if someone's trying to get her in trouble, I guess, with him. But he trusts her. So he's still just, questioning it. Time out. I'm going to take a sip of this tequila, and do not judge me for this face I'm about to make because I don't drink liquor. But this is what happened to my wine yesterday. Didn't even make it to the house. So I'm going to take a sip. Give me a second. It was smooth. Let's keep going. Okay. So Branwyn used to be on a site before she went to prison, and it was a site that kind of, I guess it was like a OnlyFans for, what year was this? 2020? OnlyFans in 2020. I mean, what's OnlyFans? Listen, I don't know anything about OnlyFans, but I wish I did. Anyway, so she told Chazz that she wouldn't go on this site anymore while she was in prison. But the only reason that Chazz knows about this site is because he could only see like snippets of her through video chat while she was in prison. So she told him to go on this site for like more, because I guess there was videos and more things for him to see that would, get him in the mood. And so while she was in prison, she told Chazz she wouldn't use the site anymore after she introduced it to him. But he noticed that she had updated her page just a couple of days ago, or at least recently, because the last time he checked, her thing said that she didn't update it, or she hadn't updated it since 2020. So I guess he kept checking, but was just looking at the same shit. But yeah, so now it says 2022, and so he's reading over the profile, and he's just like, yeah, she's got her name, her weight right, and then she says 28. Nope. That was shady. Way to be shady, Chazz. So then blah 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 blah. Oh, so her prices. You can get her for $140 for half an hour or $270 for an hour. What she does during this time, it didn't, or he didn't specify, at least. So, I mean, you can only imagine, It's Branwyn. She was a stripper look at these pictures. Like her profile picture is a picture of her ass. It's just her ass with a thumb. What do you think she's on there doing? Anyway. So, he's wondering if someone could be messing with her or trying to get him in trouble, but, you know, it's his wife, so he trusts that she's being faithful. But with these messages that he's getting and the proof that she's changed her profile recently, he's just like, trust but verify is what he learned in the Marines. Yeah. Probably should have done that a couple months ago. Anyway, so then we get to Branwyn, and she's talking about Yola, which is the white boy. The white boy that got away. Because this boy is like I don't want to say the love of her life, but he makes her feel some type of way, honey. When he comes around, she just gets, when she got that phone call, her whole body just shut down. Let me tell you how I know this feeling. No, I'm not going to tell you how. Just know that I know this feeling. Okay? But yeah. So her whole body just like gets chills and blah, blah, and she's just like, just from him calling. So the friend tells Branwyn that the person Tawny texted Chazz, and she asked how she knows. And listen, it's a whole entanglement of people, and I don't even understand it. But look, somebody knows somebody, and somebody done told somebody to tell Chazz something, and why, we don't know. We don't know if she's jealous. We don't know if she's trying to get back at her for just knowing her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, so after Jessica tells Branwyn all of this, Branwyn has the nerve to get mad at Chazz for sneaking around behind her back. How? She texted him. How's he sneaking around? All he said was, who is this? He's not sneaking around. He's trying to figure out who's texting my phone. This is my phone. I answered it. How am I sneaking around? You need to get your friends, okay? Get your little crackhead friends and alcoholic friends. Get them out of my face. Don't let them call my fucking phone anymore, okay? We can't do this. We can't keep doing this. And so she also talks about how Chazz did try to sneak into her Gmail once. She got a notification that someone was trying to change her password or something, and he said, "Oh, I was just trying to recover your password for you or something in your Gmail." But I don't. Branwyn is probably over exaggerating something, because she keeps trying to deny, I guess, the reason that she doesn't, or deny even the fact that she doesn't want to be with Chazz. But in the same token, she's also putting that, like she's putting it on him. She's projecting, basically. So she's making up things. I think she's making up things that he's doing. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Chazz to try to get into her email, but whatever. And so, he ultimately comes to meet Branwyn at the cafe or whatever, but you know, Jessica's still there, so he has some flowers and he tries to give them to Branwyn, and she's just like, why don't you give those to Tawny and get the fuck out of here? The hell is your problem, lady? I bought you flowers and I got a text message. I didn't text her. What the hell? So anyway, that's the end of them. So now we can move on to Sean and Sarah, because it wasn't a very long segment, and you know what it was all about? Kelly and Gracie being mad. Now look at these two. They look like some wicked stepsisters, some wicked evil stepsisters that, like, why are you here? Why are you still at the reception? You didn't want to come to the wedding, so after the wedding, you should have gone. You should have left. There's no more reason for you to be here. I don't understand why the two of you are still here. Because you're not here in celebration. You're here in support, I guess, of Sean. It's just a mess. Anyway, listen, this is what happened. I will say they do have a beautiful reception set up, and the wedding was beautiful too. But Kelly is obviously jealous because she makes a little comment like, well, I do kind of wish that I had that chance to be up there, but, you know, it's whatever. I could have had that. Girl, bye. Anyway, Sarah, their cake is a gender reveal cake. And the cake, once they cut it, which they find out it's a girl, it looks nice and moist. Now, listen, I should know, okay? Because I'm a baker. Kind of. I was. It's been a while. But I can tell, I got that eye, you know? I can see. Anyway, I will also say that Sarah's red hair is always popping. Like on top of it just looked really nice with her red hair on top of the white with the cake and the red with the flowers. That it was just like little pops of red that just went with her hair. It was very nice. I don't know. So anyway. So as they cut the cake, what were the stepsisters' names? The evil stepsisters' names? I should know this. Let me look it up. Hold on. I should really know this. This is sad. I knew it was an Ella in there. Anastasia and Drizella. Yeah. Anastasia and Drizella. Over here looking just not 1 ounce of happiness for them cutting the cake. Like, you could at least be a little bit clap, at least do one of these, something. They literally both stood there with their arms crossed. Why are you two still here? Please leave. Because now look what's about to happen. After they cut the cake, they find out it's a girl. Well, Sean so far only has one girl, and that is Gracie, and that is the one child, one of the 6. There was only 2 of the 6 that showed up, and she was one of them. So she has a fit, okay? She is not happy that she is about to be. Well, she's not about to be the only daughter anymore. Not like she was getting any only daughter special treatment in the first place, because, you know, he was a shit father, and we've been going over that for the past 3 seasons that we've seen them on. So what happens is, after they cut the cake, they come back, or they're just like talking, standing around, and then Kelly comes storming in like the mama bear that she is, talking about something. I'm not trying to ruin your day, but your daughter is sitting over there hysterical crying, and she's just like out of her mind. Like, she did not have to come over there like that. And it's like, are you not trying to ruin his day? Seems kind of like you are, because you didn't have to come over there. Because he was in like the main room. If he was just chilling in the side hallway or some shit, I would understand. But he's the groom. All eyes are on him probably, and he is just like the center of attention right now because of how hostile you came up on him. And you didn't mean to ruin his day. And then she's back there all apologetic, like she didn't mean for this to happen. I think she did. Just like with the first look shit. I still think she planned that. But so, my question was, number one, why didn't you try to calm her down before going to calm her and yourself down before approaching Sean about it? Because for one thing, you're obviously her primary parent. When has Sean ever been there? So now you expect him to stand up and be a dad, and you expect him to know how to handle it. Not even that he doesn't know how. I'm making excuses for him not knowing how to handle it, but I'm just saying, like, this is your daughter. You know her better than anything. You could have calmed her down. You know her much better than Sean, and I doubted he was gonna help. He was gonna make the situation any better, and he didn't. So why didn't you try to calm her down first? Because you wanted to start some shit. Don't try to play games. You wanted to start some shit. Okay? There were different ways that could have been handled. Definitely. She didn't have to walk over there so aggressively. But whatever. Another thing. Why didn't anyone meet before the wedding? Why didn't anyone set up some kind of get together, meet and greet or whatever with the kids and Sarah before the wedding? That would have taken a lot of stress and a lot of conflict out of the situation, because that's part of the reason like Gracie feels like slapped in the face, is because she kind of is. She's just now meeting Sarah, and there's no excuse for that, because we know Kelly calls him 18,000 times a day. They could have been set something up, FaceTime. Like, come on. It's just it was just a mess. Like, the cameras could have been there and everything if y'all would have set something up beforehand, but no. Let's just save all this drama for the wedding, which is not fair to Sarah, but they probably got paid for it. They probably paid for the beautiful wedding and reception on top of getting paid. So she's probably fine with it at the end of the day. But yeah, so Gracie's mad. She says she feels like it's a slap in the face because he's having a girl, which I partially understand, but then I partially don't, because he doesn't control the fact that he's having a girl. But I do understand her feeling like, you know, he's now going to treat this daughter like she should have been treated. No, he ain't. He has 6 kids. Why do you think the 7th kid going to make him change and be a good daddy? Because of Sarah? Maybe. But I think he's still going to be all about Sarah. I don't know. I can't predict now, because there's no crazy inmate situation going on, so I can't really predict. But nonetheless, they try to comfort her and tell her that she's not being replaced and it's not going to be like that, and she's gaining a sister and blah blah blah, and it's just a mess. You know, I can't even. Sarah thought everybody was excited about the gender, and now this, and I would have been the same way, like, but her mom was my mom. Her mom was going off on Kelly because she probably had been wanting to for a while. I will say that. So she took this opportunity to be like, oh no, you gonna turn up at my daughter's wedding? Here we go. It's on. And so Sarah had to try to keep the peace, because she was just like, no, she's right to feel this way. She's his first daughter. She's been the only daughter, and she's hurting. And she was just like, okay, but Kelly ain't have to pop off like that. And Kelly was kind of the same way. Like, I guess she's trying to protect you and everything, but she ain't have to pop off with a little kid like that. Whatever. She's not a little kid, but you know what she means. So it's basically just like a battle of mothers protecting their daughters at the wrong time, at the wrong place, because this should have happened already. This meeting should have happened already, so that all of this aggression and all of these revelations could have come out, and then we could have had a nice, maybe Kelly and Gracie-less wedding if we needed to. I mean, Sean hadn't been around most of her life, and now you call all of a sudden out the blue, come to my wedding to this person you've never even met. I don't even understand why she went. The last time we saw her, she hated her dad. She didn't even want to see his face. So I'm just a little confused, but that's, you know, yeah. But her mom said she said, I'm ready to smack this bitch up. Like, they got real ghetto. Like, Sarah and her mom, you heard the ghetto really come out of them. But yeah, so Sarah's trying to calm everyone down, and she's explaining that her mom was just trying to protect her. And Kelly, as she's going, you know, telling Sarah that she understands that her mom was upset and blah blah blah. She sees the camera and she's just like, oh fuck, I didn't realize they were filming, and she just walks off. And Sarah's just like, all right, well, fun wedding for me. Girl, I'm so sorry, Sarah. You deserve that. But I knew it was going to happen, sadly. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, Sarah just wants Kelly and Sean to put their differences together for the sake of co-parenting the kids. But yeah, you really going to have to help them on that, because obviously it's been how many years and they haven't been able to do it yet. And Kelly is still bitter. I mean, but who wouldn't be? You didn't have 6 kids with me and you don't want to marry me? But you want to marry some trash inmates that you keep meeting? Anyway, I'm sorry if my arm is disturbing. I had dialysis. I was on dialysis for 10 years. And this is my still functioning graft that I'll need hopefully never, but if my kidney ever fails and I need to go back on dialysis, I don't have to get this done again. So it just looks really bad. But anyway, let's move on. Let's hold off on them for now because they were pretty long. All right, let's move on to Brittany and Ray. No, you know what? Hold on. Before I say Brittany and Ray, I'm going to talk about Brittany for a second. Brittany and Marcelino's Brittany. What happened there? Absolutely nothing. She went to the desert. She's in the car talking about how mad she is at Marcelino, how she's so much more mad at Marcelino than she is at Amanda. She's in the car driving. We think, and she's talking as if she's going home to see Marcelino. This bitch drives to the desert to sit and think about why she hasn't gone to talk to Marcelino yet. If you don't take your little redheaded ass home and talk to that man, like, why are you scared of him? Why do we attack the female? Why do we attack the female like the men? Why? Like the man is just innocent. He ain't innocent, honey. And that's all I have to say about that. There's nothing else to say. Anyway. Now we'll talk about Brittany and Ray. Brittany meets with her friends to discuss how her bridesmaids are going to look and her, ring bearers and what they're going to look like and a little more of the decor for her wedding. And instead of flowers, the handmaids are going to have clutches, which I think is dope because personally, the wedding I was in, I would have loved to have my phone somewhere near me, like that I could hold it, and I would have put it in that clutch. So, also the ring bearers are going to have like ring security shirts and have like the little briefcase, which is a cute idea or whatever, but now it's being overdone. And then she says her bridesmaids will wear slick back ponytails. And she'll be very specific about the makeup. Now, here's my problem with that. I was in a wedding once. And actually, it was a slick back ponytail. But I had... What did I have? I used to wear yarn braids all the time. Honey. I was so stressed out about what to do about this hairstyle because this is my first wedding that I was in. And I didn't want to disappoint my friend, but I didn't want to take my yarn braids out. But I do my hair all the time by myself anyway, so I think I took them out. Yeah, I took them out, but my hair was still really short at the time. So, and it wasn't relaxed. So it was just like, it was just a ghetto ponytail that I couldn't stand. It looked horrible on my face shape or my head, whatever. But yeah, so that drove me nuts. And then I don't remember if my friend was specific about makeup, but she did have a makeup artist that came in and did our makeup. But yeah, it's just when I get married, didn't we discuss me already not getting married? Anyway, yeah, if I were to ever get married, hypothetically, I would not care how the fuck my bridesmaids had their hair. Makeup, maybe. Like, maybe I would make y'all wear the same tones. Who's y'all? Maybe I would make them wear the same, like, tone or the same, like, come from the same palette or something. I don't know, but I don't care. Wear your hair how you want to wear your hair. What is this, a job? I don't care. Whatever. So, they ask her, I don't know if they ask her specifically, but somehow it comes out that she's $10,000 to $15,000 over budget. Now, for somebody that's worried about a prenup, how are you going to pay this $10,000 to $15,000 Is it your parents that don't really support the wedding other than your mom? Or I'm confused. But yeah. So then we see Ray in the gym trying to get fit, I guess, for the wedding. But he tells his grandma pulls up and he says to her that he's doing it because she's always calling him fat. Hey, grandmas are honest. Okay? Very honest. But she said in a kind of shady way, but not a shady way, because I kind of picked up on the shadiness afterwards. Like right after she said it, she was like, yeah, you need to get fit so you can carry your wife, because we don't want you tripping or wobbling, or you need to carry your wife over the threshold and not drop her. And I don't know if she was just saying like, get your balance up, get your balance ready, or like, that's big bitch, so just get ready. But grandma's cool. I don't think she meant it like that. Even if she did, she was being honest. I mean, it's a fact. She's not a small person, and Ray is kind of small, so he would need at least a little strength to be able to hold her without breaking some bones. Just saying. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, the way he talks to his grandma, I'm just like, how can her parents not like him? He's just so respectful, and he's doing what he needs to do. I mean, we're not with them all the time, but we haven't seen anything wrong that Ray has done, really. Yeah, not really. Just stuff that they make up and put on him, but it's not really. It's all BS. So anyway, his grandma brings a picture of his mom, from when I think it's his brother. I don't know who the person is. Somebody was graduating, but his mom passed away when he was 11. She got shot 5 times in the chest, and so this is their way of, they're gonna save a seat for her, and this is their way of still keeping her in as a part of the wedding, but she's gonna be there in spirit. So they're gonna leave a chair open, and I think the picture is going in the chair. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So one piece of advice that grandma had for Ray in terms of getting married was don't start nothing that you can't keep up. And she was telling him that the two biggest reasons for fallouts that she's noticed in being married are money and somebody cheating. And then he starts to talk about how Brittany's dad didn't give him the blessing, and so she asks why, and what does he want you to do, and he tells her, and then she's like, well, I think he'll come around. But then on the little aside, she says, even if he doesn't come around, well, I think that Ray needs to have a conversation with him, and eventually he'll come around. But even if he doesn't come around, I still support him getting married to Brittany, because he's, at the end of the day, he's not marrying her dad, he's marrying her. Okay, wisdom from grandma. But yeah, so Ray mentions the prenup, or Brittany bringing up the prenup and how he feels about it, and the grandma understands how he feels, but at the same time he says that is like, his amount of restitution was like $143,000. I don't know how much he's paid on it, but she's saying that is a big like responsibility for her to have to take on, and he's just like, I mean, yeah, you're right, she didn't do it, she wasn't there with me. So I think he kind of came to an understanding about needing to sign the prenup, but he still was just like, it still kind of ruined the moment. Like, they just came at me with all of these, what if you need to do this, you need to do this. Like, yeah, it's probably a lot. All right, so now let's go to Kevin and Tiffany. Oh, Lord, Jesus Christ. I don't even... I'm just gonna eat. So Tiffany came back. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know why. But she came back, and they're in the bed waking up. And she has a whole attitude like she doesn't want to be there. So why are you there? How'd you get here? What led you to this point? And so he asked if she's still tripping about all this stuff, and she says, at this point, I'm over it. So why are you here? But then she asked if he's talked to his mom and if she hates her and thinks she's a terrible person and never wants to see her again. And he says, well, she just wants me to be happy. Okay, well, she should have raised you better. Okay? Because you're trash. And you treat women like trash. And she's trash for thinking that you're not trash. And she's trash for thinking that these women are the ones that are trash. Because you're full on lying to all of these women with not a grain of remorse. How do you sleep at night? Truly, how do you sleep at night? Anyway, so Tiffany says, Kevin says that his mom just wants him to be happy. And Tiffany says, well, I do too, and I understand her concern. And she is a little embarrassed that Darla, the mom, had to meet her under those circumstances. But parents will always take their child's side, even if they don't know the whole story. And that's what she feels like is happening. And that is what's happening. Because Kevin will never be honest about what the full story is and what happened. So, it is what it is. It's his what it's his. So, she suggests going to church with his mom. And he says, well, yeah, she would really like that. That's blasphemous, first of all. None of y'all need to be at church. Not even her, knowing she raised you like that and is going to sit here and shame these women. So, yeah. No, don't go to church. Or go to church. Maybe you need it. Shit. Today, they're supposed to be meeting up with this girl, Tracy. And this is why I said blasphemous. Today, they're supposed to meet up with this girl, Tracy, to talk about bringing her into the threesome. And Tiffany suggested they have a safe word for if they don't like her or, if something's wrong, like they think she's crazy. And Kevin already has this figured out. He has some patches. What these patches are for, I could barely tell you. He's supposed to put a red patch on if he doesn't like them. If he thinks they're crazy, he puts some patch on another side. And if they do want them, then they put it's like a check patch or something. I don't understand the patches. They understand them, so that's good for them. Meanwhile, Kayla is driving, and it seems like she's going to Kevin's house, and lo and behold, she is, because she wants to talk to him, because she thinks that, they're really soulmates, and she's been there. She's known him for a long time, and she's been there for him through a lot, and she's not just a side chick. And he means a lot to her. So she pulls up as they're getting in the car to go meet Tracy. And they don't see her, supposedly, but she does decide to follow them. And she says, yeah, she just follows them. So they have this date with Tiffany, and the whole time, basically from the beginning of the date, Kayla is texting Kevin. She texts him a picture of where they're sitting right now, basically letting him know that, I know where you are. I'm here. And so he pretty much gets like all fumbled, because after that it's just like he doesn't formulate a proper thought. But anyway, the whole time Tiffany's sitting there just grinning at this girl, really awkward, like, I don't want to be here. And you can tell that she's just not feeling it. She wasn't feeling her from jump. And Tracy didn't look like she would fit that couple. She was just very ethnic, I feel like. And they seemed kind of anti-ethnic, to be honest with you. I don't know, though. I'm not gonna point fingers, allegedly. So yeah, Kayla's outside taking pictures of him and sending them to him, and then she decides to go in, or she decides that she's gonna figure out what's up. And so he goes to the bathroom to like talk to production and just, you know, start to freak out about this picture and how it exists and where is she? Does she have a tracker on my car? And then Kayla calls him, and then she threatens to run up on them and you know, confront Tiffany. And so he says, in a way that kind of like it's admitting to him being wrong. It's admitting to what she's been accusing him of all the time. It's like, yeah, you're playing both sides. And so he says, we're grown. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do all that. We don't need altercation. Oh, that tone. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. That's that. Yeah, you right. And I fucked up, and I know it's about to be some shit, but just calm down for right now. Tone. So yeah, she's upset that they're meeting with Tracy and that they didn't even ask her to be in a threesome, but she said she would have been in it just to kick Tiffany out and you know, tell her she ain't shit afterwards. And then she gets mad. Like this whole time she's mad at Tiffany. Like she's mad at Kevin, but her threats are towards Tiffany. She's just like, this bitch got something coming for her, and you know, I'm gonna this. She even says herself, like, he's obviously hiding her from me too. So she doesn't know the extent of their situation. She knows about Kayla obviously, but she doesn't know the extent of their situation. So if y'all are both in the dark, what did she do to you for you to want to beat her up? He's the enemy. He's the enemy, ladies. He is the enemy. Come on now. He's the wrong person. That's why I don't have any female friends. But anyway. So yeah, he comes back to the table and he has the patch on, basically saying, no, I'm good. I don't want this one. Oh, it's a red X patch. And she visibly looks thrilled, and they're about to leave and everything, and so they tell her they're gonna contact her or whatever, literally like it's a job interview. But yeah, it was obvious that Tiffany was not vibing with that chick like that. So that was the end of that segment. Kind of, you know, Kayla threatening her threats, but that's about it. All right, so now we can finish up with Lindsay and Deontay, the psychos of the bunch. So Lindsay is in the car with Blaine, and they're going to see her lawyer because she has warrants where she is, and she just wants to know what's going on with them and what's going to happen. And so they're in the car together and they share a vape, and he gets lipstick on his mouth from her vape, and she wipes it off kind of like in a girlfriendy way. And I'm thinking that they do have a little something going on, or she wants a little something going on, or she's just flirty. I don't know. Anyway, so he asked if Deontay knows about her warrants, and she said, yeah, I've talked to him. And he said, well, what did he say? And she was like, well, what would you say if somebody told you that? And he said he would be dumbfounded. And that's exactly what Deontay was. So, yeah. She explains that she was arrested twice in 2020. Once for carving "fuck you" into Scott's desk. Scott was the original person that she came on the show dating. And then the second time was back, she got pulled over again, I guess, and she had, and this is after the Scott situation, and she had drugs and a gun on her. So she already served 18 months of that time, but she could be facing more time, and that's what she's going to see the lawyer for. So he explains that with an indictment comes a capias warrant that has to be served. And that's some serious stuff because she could be looking at 30 years. She's already missed 6 years of Miley's life, and Miley is 12 now. But the good news is that she would only have to serve 25% of that. So that would be 7.5 years. So she would still be missing a good portion of Miley's life. But she does have options, which would be to turn herself in and go to jail and then get bonded out. Or she could just risk it for 6 years or risk it for however long and try her best not to get arrested. But the way she be living and running, good luck. Okay. And so she really wants to stay out because she's made a life for herself on the outside, and she's trying to stay positive and be productive and, you know, keep that going. But jail is gonna turn that around. And so she asked if it makes any difference if it would make any difference to the judge that she's in therapy, that she has a job, that she's going to AA meetings, and or some kind of meetings. She just said meetings, and that she has a 12-year-old that she's already missed 6 years of her life of. And the lawyer says that she just needs to. The lawyer tells her she sucks at this, which she does, and that she needs to keep a low profile. She really does suck at it, because you don't need to be worried about your friend that needs bail, because he's probably not facing 30 years. You are. So worry about yourself. And stop hanging around that group of people, and actually stop. You need to get away from blame. Point blank period. Anyway, so Deontay calls, and she finally answers. And come to find out, this might actually be the first time that she's answered since the last time that he's called her in the last episode. But yeah, she tells him what the lawyer says, and then he's just like not too thrilled about the extra time, or not too thrilled about her having to turn herself in, or possibly having to turn herself in. But she doesn't want to tell him about the extra time, because that's a lot to put on him, and it's a lot if he's trying to move to Mississippi. She doesn't want him to do that now, because she might not even be there. And so he explains that he wants to come down for her birthday, and she was like, well, come on. And he loves her accent, so he mocked her. But he asked what she's been up to, because they haven't talked in a few days. And she said, well, she got a job working for Blaine. And Deontay gets silent, and he's just like, you gotta work with him too? And so she was like, yeah, yay, job. Like, look at the bright side. Like that. And so he didn't sound too happy. He was like, yay, job. That man is not happy with the Blaine situation at all. But he mentions that he doesn't like when they go days without talking, because but she said she can't answer the phone while she's at work, which is bullshit. If you work for Blaine, y'all probably aren't doing. What does he even do? I don't even remember what he does. And I'm pretty sure he'll let you answer the phone. But his whole thing was, he'll see her post on Facebook and be like, well, damn, that'll take 3 seconds. She can't text me back. Like, which I fully understand. And I'd say that to people that I'm messing with all the time. It's just like, you're on your phone already. Just swipe the fuck down and reply. It's like, what's so hard about it? I don't get it. But you got time to post? You got time to type out a whole post? Okay. But yeah. So he mentions that, blah, blah, blah. And after he's, as he's saying all of this, which he's fully right in, expressing his concern, something she needs to do. That's probably why she's so mad, because she's jealous that he's actually telling his feelings, and she's scared to. But yeah, she gets annoyed, and so does Blaine, of course. And so she feels like he's being clingy, and she says she didn't know you could be suffocated in a long-distance relationship. He says he wasn't trying to argue. He was just pointing things out. And Deontay's very annoying to me sometimes, and I wonder if it's because I am Deontay. Like, I will do things that Deontay does. That statement that he made just reminded me of myself. It's just like, it's certain people that you have to, like, let them know, like, I don't want to argue with you. I'm just trying to tell you how I feel. But it's because it's gonna turn into an argument, and most of the time it does. It doesn't even make. There's no point in me saying that, because it's gonna be a waste of time. But yeah, there are some times that you have to say that to people, and the way he said it, and the way he's so, like, needy. I'll be honest, I am like that as well. I won't call 100 times a day and you not answering, and text a bunch of times a day and you not answering, like, I'll at least wait to hear back, or wait some hours or whatever, hit you up at the end of the day. But that back-to-back shit, it's no point. If you ain't answer the first time, why you gonna answer this time? If you ain't answer my text, why you gonna answer the phone call? If you ain't gonna answer my phone call, why would you answer the text? You know what I'm saying? That's just my logic, but my logic doesn't always make sense, so don't listen to me. Anyway, so he said, oh wait, sorry, let's go back. So after he says I wasn't trying to argue and he was just pointing things out, she says, all right, well, I'm gonna let you go, because she's getting frustrated with the fact that he spoke his mind, and she still hasn't. And so he's just like, dang, why you gotta rush off the phone like that? And she's just like, well, I'm just getting frustrated, which, I mean, and on one hand, it's understandable, because she did just find out all of this. Like, she could be serving 30 years in jail, and now you want to bring this shit up. But on the other hand, it's just like, you're going to keep going through this until you say something to him. We can't feel any kind of sorry for you. So, he also is just like, you didn't give me a chance to say anything, but he's been talking this whole time. So shut up. You said enough. You said what you wanted to say. You just don't want her to get off the phone. I've been there too, so I can't even, it's whatever. And so he's like, I just wanted to tell you that I love you and I can't wait to see you. Dang. And so as she gets off the phone, Blaine is giving her this, bruh, come on. Look like he's basically saying, come on, bro, you need to drop this. He's not, no. Like, are you kidding? It's a relatable look. And she's just like, don't give me that look. I'm just getting a little annoyed because he's blowing up my phone, and I'll look down and see that I have like 8 missed text messages, and he's super serious about it. Because you need to tell him how you feel. Like, of course he's going to continue to do that, because in his head, as he said, you were contacting him 5 to 6 times a day when you were in prison. And now you don't do that anymore. And yes, it's because you didn't have anything to do. But Deontay is too slow to realize that right now. You got to tell him. You got to help him out. You got to guide the man along. Come on. You watched his season just like he watched your season. You got to know that he's slow. You can look at him and see that he's slow. You have to explain these things to him. Or he's going to keep calling, obviously. He doesn't get that it's a problem. He's not getting the hint, so he's gonna have to tell him. But she doesn't. She refuses to tell him. Even Blaine keeps telling her, you need to tell him how you feel. You need to talk to him. Tell him to chill. And she's just like, I will, but I don't want to, blah, blah. And so anyway, he's packing, getting ready to go to Mississippi, back in Virginia. Whoop, whoop. Not. Anyway, he's packing, getting ready to go to Mississippi, and his best friend Derek, who I kind of look at him as like the negative influence in his life. But tonight he was kind of spitting some knowledge. He was coming over, and so he asked, like, one of the first things what he asked was, does she treat you right? And he said, I mean, I told you I was gonna get it, and I got it. Gross. You're disgusting. But anyway, when she was in prison, he says she would go days without talking to him now or texting him, and that's ridiculous. Sorry, no. Even the friend was just like, if somebody doesn't answer me after 1 hour, somebody I'm messing with doesn't answer me after 1 hour, I get worried. 24 hours, I'm putting APB out. 24 hours, my G, and you just, okay, cool, I'm cool with it. No. And you know she's living with another, Deontay. See? Slow. The man is slow. Poor thing. Anyway, when she was in prison, he also made a route of his, like a map of his route home. I don't know how she figured it or how she knew what was where, but she made a route of his map of she made a map of his route home, and she could tell him what traffic light he was at, like as he was heading home. And he liked that about her because he likes for women to be obsessed with him and be clingy over him like he is over her. And so his friend says, your head's telling you she's sleeping with someone else, which is kind of an instigating statement because no, it wasn't. It wasn't, but it was, but it wasn't. I think Deontay wasn't thinking that it was happening. I think that he was just worried about it happening. That's what I mean by that. So yeah, Deontay says he doesn't know that she's sleeping with somebody else, and so the friend calls bullshit. He was like, bullshit, you don't know. You don't know that. You know damn well that she's sleeping with somebody else, which is not true. You don't even know. It's possible, but it's not the story that we have. So Deontay says that he doesn't want to think about it, but that's why he's going down there to see what's up. And he's ready to fight if some shit is ready to go down. He's ready to fight Blaine. But Derek asks if Lindsay knows how he feels about him not being able to contact her when he wants to and things like that. And so he said, yeah, he's talked to her, but she keeps getting an attitude whenever he tries to talk. So the friend's like, okay, you told her she didn't care about your feelings, so why you need to keep trying? And he's just like, maybe we need to be in each other's presence. Boom. Another Jessica move when I was in my long distance relationship. Maybe we just need to see each other, and that'll make things better. And it did for the moment, but when the long distance came back, that's when the problems came back. Anyway, so he says his friend tells him his happiness matters, period, and that men always put their happiness aside for a chick. Where they at? I've yet to meet these types of men, but I'm intrigued. Inquiring minds want to know. Let me know. Anyway, he said he snapped and said he's not gonna beg her to come back. He's not gonna sit there and cry and beg at her feet like he did with Nicole, because he did that with Nicole, and he looked like a fool, and he's tired of people underestimating himself. But then you should stop doing dumb shit, and the same dumb shit at that. But then his friend tells him that he's underestimating himself, and he probably is, because he knows exactly what he's gonna do. He knows how weak he is for the prison pussy, you know. But anyway, his friend tells him that he needs to go down there and put his foot down, and stop acting soft. And if anything, if she pops off and she goes crazy, then let her go. If she doesn't like it, then let her go. And that was that for that. I think I forgot Puppy and Amber. But damn it, I don't feel like talking about them. I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel like talking about them. I'll say Puppy finally told Eric that she is pregnant, and he didn't believe her at first. And he showed this kind of dumbfounded face as he walked out the door again, and as they were arguing, because that's what he does, is continue to walk out the door instead of facing the argument. Listen, I will never. If you're gonna continue to walk, no, don't even try it. But yeah, I don't really feel like going into this about them, because who cares? Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, because I think those two tequila shots, the 2 sips of tequila I took, I told you I'm not a drinker, made me really sleepy, and it's 10 o'clock at night, and I'm already an hour in, so